Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to the last segment of News and Views with me, Zahira Bam Ismail, here at Salam Media. My next guest needs very little introduction. Hafiz Imraan Choonara is a personal excellence mentor, but known throughout South Africa and internationally as well as the CEO of Africa Muslims Agency. Imraan Choonara, Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Salam Media.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Zahira. And of course, thanks for having me on your show. And of course, welcome to the listeners always of Salam Media.
Fantastic. I have no doubt that you have hope and motivation, especially after these trying times with many of our listeners listening to many things that are going on around the world. You're coming to us live from Beirut. I have to say this because this is Imran's standard trade line. Fantastic news and fantastic motivation from your end to our listeners. Please go ahead.
Well, I tell you, Zahira, okay, today, our topic today for this morning, for the next few minutes, is self-talk. Now, first of all, we're living in a crazy time. Let's just face it. We understand that. I think, Zahira, in your interaction with people, in the things that you do, and anybody for that matter nowadays is just aware, you realize that it's a difficult time for a lot of people, which means a lot of people don't actually know. And, we talk about this and, you'll hear me say these things about fantastic, have a fantastic day, have a fired up day. When people ask me how I'm doing, I say, man, I'm fired up, I'm excited. Now, people misunderstand it. They think, well, wait a second, what's going on around the world right now? How can you be excited? How can you be fantastic? How can you be fired up? What is going on? Are you misinformed? Are you not aware of what's going on? To be honest, no. Reality is reality. We are all going through stuff right now. I believe every single human being, this is my personal belief, I've got no research to back it up. I believe that every person struggles with some level of anxiety or depression on a daily basis or weekly basis at some point. They're going through this all the time because of what's going on. We're feeding into our minds so much information, especially on social media. We feed so much into our minds every single day. And it's okay. We must be aware of what's happening. But you know what we're not doing? We're not controlling and conditioning our self-talk. So we're allowing everything into our subconscious. We're allowing the world to throw things at us. We are going on social media. We're keeping ourselves up to date. What's going on in Gaza? What's going on in Sudan? What's going on in Congo? What's going on around the world? What's going on in our families? What's going on in our finances, with our health, etc., etc. And we're forgetting or we're omitting to control the self-talk that's controlling what's in our head. And we're becoming distraught human beings, anxious human beings. So honestly, the topic of self-talk, I know some people don't like to talk about it because they think, oh, well, no, I don't like talking to myself. Let me be honest with you for a second, folks. Whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not, you are talking to yourself every single day. Actually, you talk to yourself more than you talk to anyone else, by the way, because you are with yourself. You cannot escape yourself. And that's why, think about this for a second. The person you speak to the most on a daily basis is yourself, and yet we fail to control what we are saying to ourselves. Now, here's the scary part. If you don't consciously control what you're saying to yourself, you are allowing other factors to control what you are saying to yourself. You're allowing circumstances that surround you. You're allowing other people's opinions. You're allowing the media. You're allowing what you hear every single day from different sources to control what you're saying to yourself. So you cannot get away from the fact that you are talking to yourself every single day the most, but you're choosing not to control the narrative. You and I should be in control of the narrative of what's happening every single day in our heads, in our minds, because we all say this. We say we're going to behave based on our mindset. Everybody goes around saying nowadays, oh, mindset is important. Most people who talk about mindset have no idea what it means to develop your mindset. Number one of developing your mindset is, what are you saying to yourself? Because what's in here is going to come out of here. What's in here, what's in your brain, your mind, and your thoughts, it's going to come out of your mouth, your words, and it will translate into action as well in your life. It will translate into habits, which will translate into the results or lack of results, which will manifest in your life, of course. So let me give you a couple of thoughts. I wish we had more time on this. But of course, when we talk about self-talk, we say what you say, when you say it, and how do you say it to yourself. I'm not here to give you a long lecture on self-talk, man. We can talk for hours, and we should have. courses on these things, and you should attend or learn about how to control your talk to yourself. But I want to give you a few thoughts that you can write down maybe. You see, I said you're doing it anyway, whether you like it or not. Two things. Number one, would you allow someone to abuse you every day verbally? Would you allow someone to degrade you, abuse you, judge you, speak to you in a derogatory, judgmental, abusive manner? No, you and I would be upset or angry at someone who was vulgar to us every day, or derogatory to us every day, or abusive to us. So if that's how you will respond when someone else does it to you, why do you do it to yourself? Why are you derogatory to yourself every single day, abusive to yourself? Why are you vulgar to yourself every single day, demeaning to yourself every single day? Second thought I want to give you is, how do you speak to the person you love the most or respect the most? Now, you should be respecting yourself a lot. You should be loving yourself a lot. I don't mean in an arrogant manner. I mean in a manner that's just grateful for who you are, for your creator created you as a being, and you should be grateful for that. And that's why you should respect and honor and love yourself from a gratitude perspective, not arrogance. But then why do you speak to yourself in such a derogatory manner? Is that how you would speak to someone who you have the utmost respect for or who you love dearly? Now, folks, I've got 2 minutes left. There's passive self-talk and active self-talk. You see, active self-talk is what you consciously do to yourself. Passive is what your subconscious does. Now, your subconscious is going to talk to you anyway, whether you like it or not. But you control the subconscious by what you put in consciously. People who know me know that I never use the word that I'm about to use right now. I don't use it unless I'm teaching this like I'm doing now, but I don't use it in my everyday talking. I don't use the word tired. I never say I'm tired. Now, I know some people don't agree with me and they say, oh, well, you're living a weird life. Well, I don't use that word. Now, does my body need rest? Do I need to sleep? Yes. So when someone says, are you tired? I say, no, I'm fired up. I'm excited. My body needs rest. Yes, that's a fact of life. I'm a human being. But you see, if I told you, tell yourself, oh man, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I'm so tired for the next 10 minutes, you start feeling it. If you say you're bored, you start feeling bored. If you say you're angry, you feel angry. If you say you are, whatever, you tell yourself, you start feeling it. It translates into emotions. So I don't tell myself that unless I'm saying the word like I'm saying it now. I don't use the word tired because I don't believe that I'm going to be tired. I believe I'm fired up. Now, I use affirmations a lot. Now, last 30 seconds, let me tell you about affirmations. Because that conscious self-talk that you have to program yourself so that subconsciously you will respond. You see, I've written something down here. When under pressure, you and I will respond with your most practiced habit. Under pressure, you and I will respond with your most practiced habit. When you're under pressure, your thought that you most practice will come out. The words that you most practice will come out. The emotion that you practice will come out. So, for example, I say every morning, one of my affirmations every morning is, I have unbounded energy. That's just the way I am. That's one of the things I say. Even last week, I had a health challenge, by the way. I had a fairly decent health challenge, a health challenge. Let's put it that way. I don't want to use the wrong words and terminology to control my subconscious. But I had a health challenge. Does it mean that I was, when people ask me, how are you doing? I said, I'm doing great. I'm fired up. Why am I doing great? Not because I'm trying to be airy-fairy about it, and people disagree with me on how I view that. They say I'm not authentic when I say those things. No, I don't believe it. I believe if I say, oh man, I'm like this, I'm like that, I start feeling that. Why do I say I'm great? I say I'm great because I'm alive. I'm a human being. I have another day of breath in my lungs, which means I have things to do. Does it mean my body needs healing? Yes, I had to rest last week. I had to be in bed for a few days last week, resting and healing. I had to. So I did it. But that doesn't mean I'm not a fantastic human being. Doesn't mean I'm not great. Doesn't mean I'm not high energy. So I say every morning, I have unbounded energy. That's just the way I am. That's one of the affirmations I say. Now, folks, let's close on this. Whether you believe it or not, whether you think it's authentic or not to speak to yourself, to affirm, to say these positive affirmations about how you want to control your subconscious, whether you believe it or not, it works for you or against you anyway. You cannot control that you speak to yourself the most every single day, because you do speak to yourself through your own thoughts, and you are speaking to yourself in your own voice. Why would you not want to give yourself the best odds possible? Our Creator created us as incredible human beings. So, yes, there's a lot going on around the world, but you and I have a responsibility first, before serving the humanity. We have to be grateful for the people we are, who we've been created to be, and we have to respect ourselves, our minds, so that when we are being the best us, then we can be good to others. Please practice the right self talk. So when you're under pressure, you will respond with your most practiced thoughts.
Imran, Jazakallah, like I said, I knew we were expecting something fantastic, and it really was. So often we talk about gratefulness and being grateful for everyone and everything around us. We seldom say we need to be grateful for ourselves. And I think you touched on such a huge point there, and we can have an entire show on that. But I think Imran summarized it really nicely, where we started off about Ramadan saying we just started this beautiful, blessed month, and we need to find our peace. We need to find the ease around us. We need to find ways to have our Allah consciousness, bringing ourselves closer to Allah. And as Imran said, start that also by watching your self talk. Ensure that your active self talk is always positive and it resonates, because that's what we're going to be reflecting. Shukran so much for joining us on air. You'll be hearing from Imran again tomorrow to motivate us, to keep us online, to make sure that we are doing the best that we can to bring out the best in ourselves. It's been an absolute pleasure sharing my first day at Salam Media on News and Views with all of you. I look forward to being back again tomorrow. Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.